Sorry. Good afternoon. This is Big Sad Finished Co-Sign. I have a very, 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 very esteemed individual tuning in today. Well, actually speaking to me today, and I've already said to her that I appreciate all that she's done, and I'm honored to be able to speak to her because she has a book coming out. As you can see, if you're watching this, this is Melba Moore. She's been doing this for so long, and I know that we're not going to get to everything because we had to be here for days just to get to this thing. But she has a book coming out, and as you can see below, it's This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better. It's coming out on Amazon Books in November, and I'm going to ask her to introduce herself, a little brief thing, and then we'll take it from there. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Of course, I'm Melba Moore. Uh, I'm an entertainer. I'm a lady. I'm a singer and an actress, Tony Award winner, and let's get going.
Let's get going. Now, I lived in Harlem, and I know you grew up in Harlem, and then I know that you also are in Newark, and I'm currently in Jersey City. So we do have some things in
We're
common.
still neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to ask you right off the bat, because like I said, I want to make sure that we talk about the book, but some of the things we're going to talk about, of course, is going to be in the book, but it covers your career. Now, as I stated, the name of the book is This Is It. What prompted you to want to write a book? And of course, being that it encompasses your career, what would you like people to get out of it when they do read the book?
Well, the impetus was my new boss, my daughter, who said, "Ma, everybody's got a book out and you don't. It's time for you to do that." So I said, "Oh, okay, well, let's see what that's going to be." And she's kind of really spearheaded it. And we decided it should be probably memoir, which only means that, of course, it's autobiographical, but we're not trying to cover my whole career or my whole life.
That's like 10 books. No.
Yeah, at least. And that was the impetus for it. And of course, it's autobiographical. So we tell a little bit about how I began my life and where I began my life, and where my career started. When my career as an entertainer started, I have to say that I've had more than one career. And kind of basically, I think it primarily focuses on my spiritual journey. It's not religious, but is very much that, because we look at the way some of the things happened, which were kind of surprises in ways, and you think you have a plan, and you think you're going in a certain way, and it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
So kind of like that.
So, and I do know that, I guess because you've been in the industry for more than 50 years, that times were definitely different and probably more difficult, not in life in general, but because nowadays, like, anybody can basically do anything because there's so many avenues. When you first started, I'm pretty sure that the avenues were very, very narrow, as well as you being a minority and a woman had to be definitely a barrier. So I want to find out, like, since you started at such a young age, how was it getting into the actual industry as an entertainer? Because, like, I know you started very young, but how did it feel when you actually started getting recognition for your talent? And, like, what barriers did you have to overcome in order to dive into it?
Well, I think I don't really kind of view it as me overcoming barriers, although because we're Black, that's just our natural state here and pretty much anywhere you go in the world. So you can assume that just being Afrocentric, that would be the case. But I feel like for me, the main challenges were adjusting to the good luck that I was getting, and finding out on the job whether or not I was prepared for what had already been given me. By that I mean, my mother was a professional singer. My natural father was a very famous band leader. She married a piano player, and they performed together. So then music was the centerpiece of our life. So we had a good foundation for that. But also they were black, so we were taught the basic things that you must be taught if you're a male. First of all, I had brothers. If you're female, somebody's always going to try to treat you like you're a prostitute. Those are things that you're not given dignity, or you're not treated with dignity, even by your own people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get mistreated, and then you start to mistreat each other and mistreat mistreat yourself. So those kinds of challenges I had, like any other woman or any other African American.
Yeah.
But the way that they happened, I think it makes the book interesting, because my parents were black, and I think my mother finished high school and my father finished high school. They definitely wanted us to have great educations and go beyond what they did. So all of me and my siblings went to college. Since Daddy was a piano player, he loved being a musician. He loved music. He didn't just play by ear. He studied music too. He made us all take piano lessons and study music. So we had good basic family grounding and education. So then the challenge became, well, what happens to you as African Americans as you go through the world? What happens there? And I would say we had those challenges, but they were not so outstanding. When my brother became a university professor and also a piano player, he had two jobs. He taught music at York College. He was a college professor. And so I won't say that you'll have those normal challenges, but those were not racial challenges or barriers that we normally think of when we just talk about African Americans.
Yeah.
Similarly true, I and the early part of my life had no music when my mother was a single parent and trying to take care of me and her invalid mother. So I was basically raised by a traveling domestic that we called our nanny. I called her Mama Lou, but she was uneducated. She'd been raised on, as a cotton chopper herself, but not as a sharecropper. That's a person who at least kind of runs the farm for somebody else. She was an orphan, so she didn't have that. So I have that kind of an identity, someone who doesn't belong. I think that can be, in a way, said of African Americans. We are made sure that we're made to know that we don't belong.
Exactly.
If you know what I mean. So we had those as a collective group. But I think some of the challenges that I had were mother and daddy. Okay, since they were entertainers and African Americans, they really, really, really focused on us getting a good education and have what they call real jobs. Yeah. I think, I don't even know if I've thought of it this way. I don't think they respected or appreciated in certain ways the positions that they held as artists.
Yeah.
It felt like to do what they really loved doing, figure out a way to make a living at it, and go through all of the racism, because when you're an entertainer, you travel. So that means if you're Black, you're going to run into racism. And my mother and father primarily worked in white clubs. So that's something I normally don't really think about. I mean, when I'm talking in an interview,
yeah,
and, they dealt with the color. Well, the color barriers were broken for them in some ways. Well, they helped to break them, because they were accepted in certain places, and of course, so their friends were white.
Okay.
Because they worked in white. Where you work, that's where your friends come from, usually.
Yeah.
So for me, seeing that, I think now that you're bringing it to my attention, it brings to me that there was a natural having interracial fellowship. I won't say relationships.
Yeah.
Not you're giving me the privilege of thinking about that in early not early childhood, because my early childhood, I didn't have a whole family. My mother hadn't married yet, but once she married, now I had a sister, brother, three brothers, rather, cousins, a whole family, and they worked in white clubs. So most of the people that visited them were white. And I don't think I've even talked about this. I just because I follow whatever the interviewer asks me, and so it didn't really lead me to kind of think about this is your background. Oh, okay, so really, what? Now that you're making me think of it, of course, I'm just like natural crossover.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. And at least you had the guidance from your parents when you did start the music, where it probably wasn't even on your mind, as you stated, because you were just either performing or. And I think, of course, because even though I'm younger, my parents instituted the same thing as far as when you get out into the world, you're going to face these type of things. So be prepared for it, so that way you don't become either caught up or locked down because of certain mindsets.
Yes.
But that's good. What I want to find out about the book is while you were doing the book, since it's encompassed your career, how were you emotionally as you were writing it, because you had to basically reminisce about things that you encountered coming up, whether good or bad. But how did it feel emotionally when you were writing the book?
Well, I think because so many of the things have healed, and I have my career, I have my family. So many things that I lost, I didn't get them back, but they were reconfigured. So I don't sense the hurt and the pain of the loss and the brutality of the situations that happened. Not so much because time has passed, but some remedies have been put in place so that I'm still here.
Yeah.
And it's still I guess what I'm saying is now I can say this is the part that I'm looking at now. This is it. Those other things are there, but the way I feel about them is very, very, very different in some ways, because I remember certain things happened to me. If I could have learned how to shoot a gun, I would have gone and shot somebody. I was that angry and for a long time. And I was that hurt, and I had lost that much.
Yeah.
So I can see from you asking the question that I'm really not that person anymore. And the reason is step by step by step, situation by situation, things have transpired into a more whole place.
Okay. So
I guess that's what we mean by marvelous and getting better.
Yeah.
Maybe we mean getting better by healing. And like you said,
Definitely.
I'm getting better now.
Definitely. And I know that, and there was definitely a lot of good times as well. So did it uplift your spirits as well as you're writing? Because I've never written a book, but I've talked to people that have written books, some celebrities, some non-celebrities, when they would say that sometimes thinking about the good aspects of it, like, brought their moods up, where it's like, I mean, of course, if you remember anything good, it's going to, you're going to bring a smile to your face. So like,
naturally.
Yeah,
you
so
don't want
like
to go back and pick out all the details and start laughing all over again. When they're not so good, you don't want to do that. And then you're talking about yourself, but they always involve other people. So you have to be concerned that will happen before. You don't want to bring something to somebody now.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, if you're in a position and you have the privilege to write a book and you think about these things, if you're not well, you get well, because you don't want to hurt somebody else,
That's true. You don't want it to come back and bite you once the book is released, so.
Right.
Let me get this out the way before I forget. I want to wish you a happy birthday now, because I know your birthday's coming up.
Oh.
And like I said, I just want to get that out the way now before I forget. And happy birthday. I want to be the first person to say happy birthday to you this year. So
thank you, the first one, yes.
Exactly. So, okay, yeah. When I was looking at the file, I was like, oh, her birthday's coming up. So let me make sure I mention that. Now,
say this, I'm really, really happy because yesterday I realized that it was time for my annual or my 6-month checkup.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to go out of town and do this and that, and I'm helping everybody else do everything else. So, oh my God, I didn't get my checkup. And so I called to see when I could get an appointment. He said, yesterday, he said, can you come? It was about noon. He said, can you come in about 3:00 today? I said, oh, I can get it now. And I had to go up all these hills, but I was in such good shape and they're close enough. I walked. So when I got there and the doctor came in to examine me, he said, "Oh my God, you look so good." Oh, he took off my cap and my wig. He said, "You look even younger without your hair." So I think that's an incredible birthday present.
Yeah, I know you felt good, and I would say that I know it's never a good thing. You know, society says never ask a woman her age, but it's documented. So I'm going to say you definitely look good for someone who's about to turn 80. And like I said before, you know, definitely appreciative of what you've done and what you've contributed to, you know, so some people our joy. My question to you is knowing that I'm pretty sure over the course of your career, people have come up to you to tell you that whether it's in your one of your plays or whether it's one of your songs or whether they saw you on TV, that you've brought some type of joy to their lives. How do you feel when people do tell you that? Because I know it's got to be a feeling like, you know, not overwhelming, but I could just imagine that touching so many people for so many years and still doing so because you're still doing your thing. Because I know I think you were just you were on Broadway like a couple of months ago, right? If I'm correct.
No, I think I did 54 Below, which is really like a
Yes.
cabaret.
Actually, that's what I was talking about. Yes, you know, so
It panders to Broadway
yeah.
entertainment.
Well, yeah, I should have just said performing as opposed to Broadway specifically. But I mean, how do you feel knowing that you're still able to touch people and bring smiles to people's faces or something emotional?
Very, 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 very grateful because time can take its toll on you.
Yeah.
And you can want to do this thing, you can do your very best to do it, but it doesn't. It's not guaranteed. And I think over the years, like I've been very, 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 very shy, but the industry has helped me develop myself, and so I'm articulate in all those things. And I've always been uncomfortable about receiving accolades, and I relieve now. Well, when you gonna get used to it? It's
Exactly.
here, it's been here, and it's been here, it's been here. So get used to it and realize that you need to sit back and ponder what you have been allowed to live because other people made this happen. You didn't make this happen by yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can honestly say and comfortably, thank you. And I'm very, very, very grateful. And in some cases, I'll have opportunities to ask people what their feelings are, what their experiences were, just period, because it's not just my story. And then I'm comfortable now.
So, when people read your book, what would you like for them to get out of it outside of getting to know you a little better?
I want them to see what kind of a spiritual journey that they're on and how God moves us in these different ways and shows us who we are and who He is. And it's like a fingerprint. It's not exactly the same with anybody. And I think that's the joy you get of reading my book and hearing anybody else's story. Uh, we all live the same life, the basic things, but they're all so individual and also unique.
You are a singer, actress, now an author. Has there been something that you've never done that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done yet?
I want to spend a vacation in Alaska. No. um,
I'm pretty sure that can be arranged.
I want to be consistent at things now and be the author of my own destiny now and not rely so much on other people and what they do and incidents and accidents. When look at I've been here long enough now to see a pattern of things and kind of with the help of my friends and loved ones and people that I work participate in directing an orderly path
Yeah.
from now on. Like there are things I think that now that the years have accumulated that I should be able to do seasonally now, not just coincidentally here and there. Nothing should be so haphazard anymore.
That's a good thing.
I mean, I've done pretty much everything that I would want to do. I just want to do it consistently and at the highest level I could do it.
Now I'm going to read off a couple of your accolades because if I read off your accolades, we'll be here for like another 2 hours, you know. But when you start on Broadway, you were the first Black woman to take over a white lead role? Like, actually, I'm gonna stop at that only because, especially during that time, because that was during the '60s when civil rights was still a thing. And what was it like to just experience like being the first, just in that capacity? Because, of course, just it was still a rare thing, but like, um, did it hit you at that time what you were accomplishing when you did take over that role?
In a certain way, it did. But I was in hair, which was an experimental theater. So one
Yeah,
of the things I became, I think, really conscious of is that I was in a special place where that could happen because it wasn't happening anywhere else.
that's true. Yeah,
And it didn't matter if you had the best manager or what. If I don't care how big a star you were, that was not happening if you were black.
yeah.
But I would
That's
tell,
what I'm asking because it's like just amazing.
yeah,
Just especially at that time. Even today, it will still be a thing, but it's been done so many times afterwards where there are still things that haven't been broken yet when it comes to us as black people, which is kind of amazing. But you've had your own TV show. You've had your own one woman show. You've been nominated for Grammys. You a Tony. Wait, you won a Tony Award. Yeah, Tony Award winner. Little Bell and Pearly. That's that correctly?
that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like even me talking to you, like I'm just proud of what you've accomplished, just because like you've done so. And I know when in life we all want to accomplish things.
Right.
While you're doing these things, did it dawn on you, or does it even dawn on you today about some of the things that you have accomplished? And even though you're almost 80, there are still things that you probably can accomplish as well. Like, so I'm just getting at like the amazement of having such a career where you're able to say that and be record breaking. And I mean, like, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to frame the question in such a way, but so many things are coming through my mind to find out like what it is that goes through your mind accomplishing those things. And at the times when you were accomplishing these things, did it dawn on you in such a way that I'm making it out to be?
Oh, absolutely, to a degree, because you couldn't help it because it was so rare for those things to happen. So you had to be conscious of it in a
Yeah.
certain way. But in a certain way, I had to kind of not take it all in because you had to focus on getting through these moments. Like and they're very, very, very scary. It's like walking a tightrope, but you've trained very well for it. But this is the time you're up there actually doing it. And you know that it's happening and it's incredible. Not incredible. It's unique. It's
Yeah.
and nobody's done this quite like this before. But so much is going on, just like it going on in your mind now.
Yeah.
You have to stay stable and everything. So you can't really take it all in. It's not that you can't believe it, but you can't take it all in. It's too much.
And it's not as if like you're resting now and just chilling, because like now
No. And it's never been that.
and that's another thing. So like and it's funny because we've been taught in the society that when we do hit a certain age, that's when we should be winding down or we shouldn't do anything. But yet, as I stated, you're about to turn 80, but you're still moving, you're still going. And that's impressive in itself, because I know some people who are 50, 60 ready to like do nothing. And it's like, nah. And I know for me, I'm like, I know I got many years to go. So like, what, like how do you function with people having the anticipation that you should have been done already? And when I say done, I mean as far as like not wanting to do anything, because I know it's a difference between wanting to do something and not wanting to do something. And from what I'm gathering from just looking at you now, that you still want to do things. Like, what keeps you going to want to do things?
Well, I think, I'm part of a certain era and age, and I see now that the way God has me, I seem to be among the first or in the higher echelon of people who break through.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear less and less and less and less of people talking about you got to wind down at 50. It ain't time for that no more. It's a new day.
That is true.
You see a lot of people like me now.
That's true.
Right?
And you know what's funny?
And who you talk to.
Black people at that.
Right. And you know we don't crack so.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think we kind of lay back. We don't, I don't know, wherever we are, maybe the surroundings don't encourage or inspire you to stay alive first.
And that's very important, because I think I had a friend, and she's older, and like one time she had a conversation. She's like, she's just ready to just basically like not give up, but just ready to. I'm looking at her like, you don't understand. You're still young, and I'm speaking to her from being younger, but I'm looking at her like, you're still young, and as I'm looking at you, I'm like, I don't think anybody's gonna have that conversation with you as far as you wanting to slow down. And realistically, I'm pretty sure people will tell you, you can.
But you know what you have to do too is you have to, and we have to do it to each other. We have to tell people you can do more. You can do more. You can do more, or you don't not do more. You can stay alive. You can be alive. You can. We have to encourage each other, because everybody gets tired of everything. I don't care how great it is. I'm with you now, but I'm not like this all the time. I've got my face on for you.
And I thank you for that. Now I know I have limited time with you, because
you have to exchange with each other the realities of life, that you do get tired, but you want to encourage people to look for those areas that allow you to rest while you're moving into the next thought or next plan. One of the things now that we've gone through years of people being told or encouraged, or it's the fashion to retire at a certain time, is that when they retire, they die earlier.
Yeah.
So we kind of know now, over a mass amount of people doing a certain thing in a certain way, that maybe the experts said, well, that's not good. That's not right. Yep. So some of us know that, we're looking at that, and I'm saying, I like what I do. Do I have to quit? And so you look maybe personally for how can I enhance my health and my life first. And then, then you feel good, you think better. You say, well, I want to do this. You start to have desires. And we have, I think, many, 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 many breakthroughs in fashions of thinking now that are more whole, more healthy. Not so much that you can do more. Just if you just stay here and don't do nothing, you did it well.
Now, like I said, I know I have limited time, so I just want to ask you, what is in the plans now? Because like I said, I know you're not stopping anytime soon. So what is coming up for Melba Moore outside of the book coming out in November?
All right. Well, besides the book tour, of course, I'm going to continue to tour in concert. I have a concert tour being put together with Shirley Jones, formerly the Jones Girls.
Yes, yes.
And, one of the Climax groups, because there's several of them, but the Climax Girl Band.
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
And we believe that Monique is going to host it. So it's going to be funny and be very eclectic and synergetic. So there'll be a concert tour. I'm putting together a one-woman play with music called I'm Still Here, which is a play with music, but it's instead of the book, it's an autobiographical play. That's in the makings. That's not going to happen for a while, but working on that. I'm trying to think. I'm in the studio actually doing more music, recording more new music as well.
That's good. So I'm trying to see myself many years doing what you're doing, just whatever I want and just continuing. So I definitely,
as I stay alive.
Yeah. And I know I've said this before we started the interview and during the interview, but like I said, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you, and definitely appreciate what you've done from the music I've heard growing up. And even when I told my mother I was speaking to you, she was like, oh, wow, that's great. So it's like, that's why I'm smiling so much. Not for me, but because, like I said, getting the opportunity to speak to you, because I know that we usually don't honor our legends, because I consider you a living legend. But I think that we don't appreciate until it's too late. So me having an opportunity to speak to you right now, and even if it's the only opportunity I get to speak to you, I want to appreciate it and let you know how much you've affected, not only me, but of course, a trove of people. And thank you once again for writing the book, because I'm definitely going to read it when it actually comes out. And like I said, hoping that I can help you in any way to further whatever it is that you do in the future. And once again, thanking you, because I'll probably thank you another 6 times before this is over.
That's
But
how I take it.
yeah, because I think it's important, like, for people to realize that they are appreciated.
Yes.
Because, like, but like I said, the book is This Is It, Marvelous and Getting Better, as people who are watching can see, getting better. Good luck with the tour. Good luck with the upcoming play. Whatever it is that you're going to do, good luck. And I'm pretty sure you do well, because you've been doing well all these years. And I definitely, if anything comes across my desk that I can promote, I definitely will. And I do appreciate you taking the time to speak to me. And as I stated, I hope the book does well and more people get drawn to you, and people find out things that they didn't want to know, where they want to find out more. So,
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay. Once again, Big Set Industry Co-Sign, Melba Moore, because I know that I can go on literally for hours, but I know, you have to do things. So I'm going to let you go. Once again, I appreciate that. And happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I guess that's it. So I'm going to, I can't even find my button to.
Okay, well, I guess I'll find my button too, huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you once again. It's
Oh, thank you.
It's finished filming, and